morning, and it's just great to be back here. I wish to acknowledge some people who are here today. Troy Setter, Chair of LiveCorp, Wayne Collier, the CEO, Jason Strong, Managing Director, MLA, David Warriner, NTLEA Chair, Tom Dawkins, NTLEA CEO, David Connolly, President of the NTCA, and Will Evans, the CEO of the NTCA. Peter Wells, ANIMARC Chairman, Stephen Barnard, ANIMARC CEO, Dicky Adewaso, Gapas Findo from Indonesia, Greg Pankhurst, Chair of QLEA, John Cunnington, Chair of Walia, and Jim Teasdale, Celia. Day one was a terrific success. People attending all around of Australia and indeed the world. We had about 400 delegates attending. I think this shows what a strong and vibrant industry we are. However, events like these just don't happen overnight, and I would particularly want to acknowledge Paula Lenston and Karen Latham from LiveCorp, as well as the NTLEA organising committees. Today you're going to hear from a number of fantastic speakers, but the session I'm most looking forward to this morning is one that provides a global perspective of the live export industry. Ms. Carolina Crucarella from the European Livestock Meat Traders Union will speak about the challenges that the live export industry is facing in Europe. They're faced with the same political activists' agenda that we are here, and challenge the trade just like it's challenged here in Australia. But they're also looking to implement standards that can address these agendas. The Australian standards that we have here through SCAS, through ACIL, are recognised as the best in the world. There is an important lesson in this. The rest of the world looks to us for global leadership in animal welfare. The OIE has also said that we lead the world in animal welfare through what happens with SCAS and ACIL across the world. It's a point that we need to keep reminding ourselves of when we're faced with challenges here, the people who are against us, the people who don't want to see us succeed and want us to close us down. But we are moving forward and we're moving in a positive direction. It leads me to make a final point, and I want to make this very clear. We're very fortunate that in Australia we have such strong support from livestock producers. And it was made very clear by David Connolly in his powerful speech yesterday. And I want to thank you, David, for all that effort that you put into letting us know that we're an industry that has to succeed and has to thrive. What David articulated was that in the current issue of the government's live sheep phase-out policy, it's not just a sheep issue. It's actually an issue about Australian agriculture's right to exist. The Australian live export industry, whether it's cattle or sheep, has the best performance in the world, and the evidence of science proves this. Now, I just want to talk about the phase-out policy of the Labor Party and sheep. The Awassi Express incident that happened in 2017 was a tragedy. Things happen, things do go wrong. We saw that in 2011 in Indonesia. But the government of the day, while it put a ban on, it did not say that we were going to phase the industry out. The industry took remedial action. The industry stood up and worked out how it should reform itself. That is what we want to see through the live sheep trade. There was a problem. The industry addressed that problem. The industry decided that would have put moratoriums on sheep going to the northern summer. The industry reduced stocking densities. This wasn't the government forcing industry doing this. This was the industry taking the first steps to reform. So why can't the sheep industry do what the cattle industry did? Reform itself, which it has the lowest mortalities it's ever had. Ships of over 60,000 head are going to the Middle East, and we have 26 mortalities on those ships. For me, if you look at the phase-out policy, there's no natural justice in this. If the industry hadn't reformed itself, if it hadn't taken steps to achieve these great animal welfare outcomes, then I can see why you'd say, let's phase you out. But it's taken all those corrective actions and it's driven them home. So what we want to see is that one incident on one boat should not shut down this live export industry. The reforms have been made, and we will prosecute this with the government to show them that this industry can continue and it can thrive. We had here yesterday 2 gentlemen from Saudi Arabia who've come up under MLA, brought them here. They're talking about investing into the sheep industry in Australia. They're talking about wanting to be here, wanting to put their capital into Australia. But of course, I see this phase-out policy. So we will continue to prosecute this. We won't stop, and we look forward to the support of producers, Australian-wide, sheep and cattle producers. We're here fighting for this wonderful industry on behalf of Australian agriculture. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and it's great to be able to say a few words here. Thank you very much.